Today I'm going to be watching the Get Him Back music video that she just dropped an hour ago, and I was not expecting it. I was like literally chilling it up, and then she decided to drop this into my lap. I am very excited for this. I love this song. I love this whole album. The whole freaking vibe is just, it's a vibe. The vibes are vibing. Last night I watched the live performance of her doing this song on the Today Show, and it was really cool. I will say it was a lot different than the studio version. Obviously, I mean, with a song like that, it is going to be different because there's so much like layering and effects on the vocals in that song. But it was just kind of interesting to me how different it was. It was just a whole different song when she did it live. So it was really interesting. But the music video, I am really curious about because this is actually a song that kind of has two meanings to it. She has like a lot of conflicting emotions throughout it, which I did not catch on my first listen. When I first listened, I really just thought this song was like, I want to get him back, like a revenge anthem. But it was not until I watched Caitlin Marie Reacts, and she made just the best point about how this song has a lot of conflicting emotions in it, and she pointed out the lyrics that I did not catch at first. She wants to get this guy back, as in get revenge for what he did to her, but she also wants to get him back, as in be in a relationship with him again. So I think it's a really cool song, and every lyric actually has a contradiction within it. I absolutely love this whole vibe. I'm excited to see if she's gonna give like a revenge storyline, or if it is gonna be that contradiction of like, I want to get revenge, but I also want him back. Like, what is she gonna portray? That's what I'm wondering. But without further ado, let's get into it. Love the thumbnail. It's already giving me, it's giving, like, this whole thing is just giving throwback. I feel like this album feels like a movie, like Pretty in Pink. That's the kind of movie vibe that I feel like this album has. Breakfast Club, kind of just that whole vibe of like being in that stage of life. That's really what this album makes me picture. I'm not saying that the storylines are exactly the same by any means, but it just kind of gives me that energy. I just have this gut feeling that this is going to be my favorite music video so far. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Also, can we just talk about how the women of the music industry are literally the fabric of our society? I was just reflecting the other night on how many women have absolutely crushed it with album releases this year. Portals, Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard, Speak Now Taylor's version, The Good Witch. We already know Silence Between Songs is about to be the best album ever made, as well as In the Land of the Hospitable, or whatever that Mitski one is. 21st Century Blues. I mean, get out. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Sorry. Wait, this is not even the video. This is an ad. Okay, I was so thrown off. I was like, whoa, we're just getting right into it. Okay, so we know the video was shot on an iPhone, which I honestly always impresses me. Even though I know what an iPhone can do, it looks so legitimate. So anyway, let's get into it.
2, 3. Wait, is this the song with the drums?
I met a guy in the summer and I left him in the spring. A wandering eye, he said he's 6'2",
I love that.
and I'm like, dude, nice try.
She does that in a lot of her videos. She always has like multiples of herself, or like she puts her face on other faces. I think she loves to do stuff like that, and it's really cool.
He would take us out to parties and the night would never end.
He just fly me to France.
So when I'm feeling depressed, till I remember every time
Okay.
I made a pass on my friend.
The girl with the lighter, Olivia with the lighter, it's giving revenge. And then some of them are kind of standing around looking sad. So I do feel like it's kind of representing those conflicting emotions. Also, the fact that he was blurred out or like somehow edited, that feels intentional. Like, he's there, but he's not really there, if that makes sense. Like, he's a part of her life because she's thinking about him so much, but he's kind of just a figment of her imagination. Like, he's not really part of her life, and he's kind of irrelevant when you think about it, because they're not together anymore, and he fucked her over, right? So yeah. I love that. Oh. I have to point out the cinematography because I'm a cinematography girly, but the cinematography is absolutely stunning in this video. And I would know because I'm a cinematographer. Just kidding. And I love that whole scene where it was like, it was all chaotic around her. My cat just knocked over the vinyl. That was a hate crime. But I really liked that whole scene where like everything around her was chaotic, but she was kind of just standing still. I don't know, that felt kind of symbolic to me.
As I'm hitting send, I picture all the faces of my disappointed friends. Because
Oh, she keyed the car.
I picture all the faces of my disappointed friends.
She keyed the car.
Because everyone knew
I said that I wanted her to key his car, and she did it. And I'm so proud of her.
that I am my father's daughter.
So maybe I could fix him. I wanna get him back.
Make him really jealous, wanna make him feel better.
Yes. How much budget did they have to destroy cars in this video? It always makes me laugh when videos just destroy everything in sight. Like, you really had such a budget that you could just destroy cars and really expensive things and get away with it. He's blurred out. Gutsy. Yes. No, I need this. Sorry, this is like...
Break his heart. Get up.
That's kind of my favorite scene so far because I feel like it represents that confliction. It's this act of destruction, but it's also this act of like, he loves me not. I'm still in love with him. And I think it just represents the confliction that she's feeling. And God, I love this woman.
Kiss his face with an uppercut.
With an uppercut, yeah. How much budget, Olivia? I love this. Oh, she at me, of all people. Oh. I think I called that number before she released the album, and it was just like her saying hi or something. I don't know. I don't remember it being anything crazy. Maybe a little snippet of the song. I want him again. To get him back. Oh, okay. It's just... She got him really good, and she did. That music video was interesting for multiple reasons. The first being just how it was shot was really, really cool. I am shocked that it was shot on an iPhone because the cinematography and the camera work was just, it was gorgeous. It was really seamless, yet it felt chaotic at the same time. It was this weird mix of like being chaotic and also being very controlled and seamless. Kind of like this whole album. It feels messy and it feels chaotic, but it also feels just so streamlined and so quality all throughout. What was interesting about the multiple versions of herself was it was reminding me of Deja Vu. It was reminding me of Bad Idea, right? Where she put her face on all the different bodies at the party. So that was kind of interesting because it was kind of like a callback to those, but it was also kind of reminding me of the song itself, because the song itself, the production of it and the sound of it, you can hear all these different layers of her voice in the song, right? And it almost sounds like there are 20 different Olivias singing to you, because there are 20 different, voice tracks all stacked on top of each other. So that aspect of the music video was really interesting because it felt like all those girls were singing the song. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like they were all representing those layers that are in the song. And then meaning-wise, I feel like that music video did a good job capturing the feeling of the song, of those contradicting, conflicting emotions of like, do I want him back or do I want to like punch him in the face? There were all these shots where like one of her was holding a knife or holding a lighter, and then the other version of her was kind of just standing there singing along, looking happy, or like icing a cupcake. Everything would be flying all around her like she was in the middle of a food fight, but then she would just be standing there kind of not knowing where to go or what to do. And then at the end you saw how they all did decide to like go key his car and like destroy everything. They kind of gave in to those urges and those temptations. So I think that was really cool. I really liked that. That was probably my favorite of the 3 music videos. I just feel like it represented the song perfectly. It was really interesting and engaging to watch, just a little bit more than the other 2. I did like the other 2 music videos, but that one was like probably the standout for me. I don't know. This whole era is really, really exciting me right now. I absolutely love it all. Yeah, I hope you guys are also loving it. I really do. I know, some people are divided on this album, but it seems like a good majority of people like it, so that is good. But if you don't love it, that's okay too. My favorite song right now, thank you for asking. I think I'm acting like I have one that I'm gonna say. I don't, but let me look at the track list. I'll give you guys like an updated thoughts on each song. So All American Bitch, I think that is just like the best album opener that could possibly exist for this album because it represents that confliction. And something that came to mind while I was re-listening to it is just the difference between the verse and the chorus, obviously, which I talked about in my reaction, how the verse is this like country Americana, really pretty vibe, and then it goes into the pop punk chorus. And I actually think that that has a lot of meaning behind it. I think the verses are kind of her stuffing down her emotions and saying how she feels like she has to act and she has to feel, she has to just put on a good face and everything is perfect and I am this pretty girl who's just kind of here to sit still and look pretty. And then it goes into the pop punk chorus, which feels like I'm just letting it all out. Like I'm really gonna say how I feel. And I think that transition is insane. You can only hold those thoughts in for so long before you just explode. And I think that song just does a beautiful way of portraying that. Bad Idea, right? I've listened to it so many times and it still just doesn't get old when it comes on. Vampire, the build of that song, I just think it's so incredible. Lacey, beautiful. No Notes. Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl, probably still one of my favorites. I don't know, I just love the whole vibe of it. I think it's such a vibe. I love the sound of it. Making the Bed, I cry almost every time I listen to that song. Probably one of my tops on the album, which is hard to say because I love all of these songs literally so much. But the feelings she portrays, I've never really heard portrayed that way in a song, and so it really stands out lyrically. It's just the most beautiful song sonically as well. Speaking of the most beautiful song ever made, Logical is one of the most beautiful songs I have ever heard in my life. The build of that song is unreal. It's just should not even exist, and I wish it did exist. That would be great. If all of these songs existed and this album was actually real, I would really love that, but alas, I'm sorry, they're all figments of my imagination. Love is Embarrassing. For me, it was one of the biggest growers. The Grudge has grown on me a lot. I think it's so beautiful. For me, it's still not the most memorable song on the album. Like if someone asked me, about this album and what are my favorites, that's not the first song I'm going to say. Like it's just not. But I think it's really pretty. The songwriting on it is beautiful. And sonically, it's grown on me a lot. I actually really love the build of it now. Again, not my favorite on the album, but I still love it. It's probably still toward the bottom, to be honest. Pretty Isn't Pretty is a figment of my imagination. It's not real. The lyrics being just so honest, so relatable, but then the sound of it just sounds like spiraling, like you're spiraling the entire time and it just gets more and more chaotic, and I think that's just so genius. And then Teenage Dream also has grown on me a lot. I think it's gorgeous. The outro is one of my favorite parts of the entire album. It's again still gonna be lower on the list. Like it's not the first song I'm gonna go listen to, but I still think it's really pretty. It's grown on me to the point where I would not skip it by any means. Oh well, I might skip it if I'm not in the mood for it, but like it's not a skip in and of itself. Yeah, that's a little bit of an update, but I love this album so much. Like it might be one of my favorite albums of all time. Obviously too soon to tell, but that's just kind of the gut feeling. I'm not trying to make puns, but that's just kind of the gut feeling that I have about it is, yeah, it's just that good. So yeah, if you guys liked the video, okay, I know I was like getting really passionate there about how much I love this album, but I am passionate about Olivia. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. Hope you're loving this era. Send in love, send in hugs, send in guts.